I first met John Shoptaw about 10 years ago in Berkeley, where I was giving a reading organized by our mutual friend Robert Hass. At that point, I knew only his book on John Ashbery, a very good one, and very little about his work. Bob told me that I'd like his poems. A good deal of time passed, but eventually I received a contribution for the Notre Dame Review, the likes of which I'd never seen before. This was Shuffle, a triple sestina, but a triple sestina never before known to man. The end words were there, okay, or at least most of them, but the length of the lines seemed to vary from about 5 syllables to about 500. Also, there was an element of chance involved in the configuration. Before writing each line, John would roll a pair of dice. If the roll came up odd, he would shuffle the end word. If even, he wouldn't. Fine, I thought. Let's print it. And we did. All of our readers loved it. Some time passed, after which we received the manuscript of Red Cross Night. You may remember the chap from Spencer's Fairy Queen, which you all had to read in some survey course or other, and so did I. Have to read it, that is. But this was the 21st century, and John's poem was actually written in Spenserian stanzas. Okay, I thought, what about that? I must here admit to you, and admit to John, that's the one time when a single poem that we received made me doubtful enough to send it out to a few readers whose judgment I trusted. The word came back. If you don't print it, nobody else will. We printed it. Our readers loved it. And this was a poem written by someone who admits in his author's blurb that he was baptized in a drainage ditch, writing Spenserian stanzas. The blurb on the back cover of the book, which you're all about to buy and ask John to sign in a few minutes, is called Formally Renovative. Dig it, all you postmoderns, but also dig it, all you uptight formalists, because John Shoptaw almost alone reconciles your worlds. He's somehow both reactionary and avant-garde. Along with the triple sestina and the Spencer stanzas, you will find a poem in the meter of the Song of Hiawatha, and another in the meter of Tennyson's Locksley Hall, perhaps the first since W.H. Auden's beginning, "Get there if you can and see the land you once were proud to own." And if you don't believe me about the Hiawatha, how does this get you in your gitchy gumi? Yestwarding there came a schoolcraft, paddling up a derivation, there to plant the name Itsaka, there to find the very place for, well, the place for what? Among other things, a kind of Miltonic mask called heebie-jeebies, which recalls, along with Comus, something else by W.H. Auden, for me at least, his totally sui generis paid on both sides. Although it also recalls the Rose Bowl parade, or something else with extravagant floats, since there are 12 of these floats in the second to last section of the book. Oh, and John really was baptized in a drainage ditch, where in one poem he goes fishing for the reader. And this is the quote from that poem. He caught a lot of bluegills, and in the name of Castor River, Little River Drainage District, Wahite Drainage Ditch, and the name block lettered on the long-gone railroad station's long-gone sign, W.A. Height. Put out this poem on about a 4 in 5 foot line, and in the name of John, I dabble it about bold cypress stumps and likely spots, and keep my keyboard running and my eye upon the fluter, fishing for the reader. John?
All right.